like to see everybody, but it's delayed anyway, so it doesn't matter. Okay.
Hello.
Hello.
Hey, everybody.
All right, I guess he's fixing it.
Here, I'll stem while you guys are.
All right, you good now? All right,
Okay.
perfect. Well, we have set up a optional donations, and all the donations will go straight to us buying better equipment, to like better cams and better mics and stuff like that, to just improve the stream. So the link is on the Facebook. It might be on the YouTube in the upcoming video. We don't have it on any of the current videos, but just contribute if you want to. If you don't want to, totally fine.
Yes. So it has gotten to a point. This is just off a personal thing. I'm getting the fact sheet. Just wanting to make sure I get this prefaced. It looks like in the last week we've reached a point where we're starting to level out.
Mm-hmm.
Which is a great thing for the American front. I don't really know what it looks like for the rest of the world. But the total confirmed cases in the United States is 705,112 cases,
Wow.
with 58,000 recovering, and 36,000 have died. Which worldwide we do look like we're running right about the 1%. It's actually, we're quite higher than 1% for the death rate, but for the recovery rate, we're matching about what the global percentage would be. With the global confirmed cases being 2,224,426 cases, and then with 565,000 being recovered, and only 100,000 or 153,177 deaths.
That's actually not as bad as I expected you to say.
Yeah, I honestly was too coming into this. I've been monitoring it, but I haven't been taking every minute of every day to check. Yes, absolutely. So Nebraska's numbers, I didn't yet, but I will. The state of Nebraska has 871 confirmed cases. We don't have a number of recovered cases yet, which doesn't mean it's zero. It just means that we don't have all of that information just yet. And we have 18 total deaths in the state of Nebraska. For our viewers in Hall County, we have 328 confirmed cases with only 6 deaths.
Perfect.
Which is actually, now that I look at it, it's significantly lower than the national average of 1% for Hall County.
That was just like in the past week we've gotten that bad. Because Nebraska had virtually nothing besides a couple in Omaha. So
Yeah, and the thing that I noticed today, I went out for a bit of a drive, which you're not necessarily supposed to do, but I was getting a little stir crazy in the house. And when I went for my drive today, there were streets that had been blocked off completely.
yep.
And I don't know if that was because of cases or if that was due to just having something on that street that was necessary to have it closed, but it definitely looked suspicious.
All I know is, y'all, here in Omaha, I was at Sam's Club today. People are moving freely in Omaha everywhere.
What the hell? What's the point of being out of school, being in quarantine, getting
You guys,
laid
it's
off from
crazy.
your
I bet that
job?
the parking lots are packed.
Yes, I know, because
That's
if you go
ridiculous.
out to get food in Grand Island, if you're going to eat out, you're in the drive-through line for 2 hours.
I don't
basically.
understand why people are eating out. Use this as a chance to learn to cook, people.
I
I've
know.
eaten out once since quarantine started.
I agree. I've eaten out a couple times, but I do my best to eat in.
Imagine you say you're going to feel like Gordon Ramsay after this. Oh, yeah, we're all going to be masters. All right. We got the first question. The first couple questions going to be about coronavirus, but after that, we'll move on to more interesting stuff. So we've got number one. Do you believe that people are over exaggerating, or is there more that needs to be done? That from Maria Garcia. Well, you can never be too safe, because if our government is overreacting and it's working, that's good. But if we were to underreact and then it got way worse, we'd be wishing that we had overreacted.
You guys,
So I don't think we are overreacting.
there's no overreacting here. Obviously,
Exactly.
even though everything is mostly shutting down, the cases are still blowing up. And I'm telling you, if we don't stay quarantined long enough, it's still going to blow up.
Yep. All right, that's good. So the over exaggeration, I was one of the people at first that thought we were over exaggerating, just because it was this foreign thing that, oh, it's not going to do that bad to America, but we all know how that one went. So mainly due to incompetence in places like New York and California, it's spread to everywhere, which is awesome. So second one, we've got Drew Sheard asking, do you feel that the stimulus checks are a smart financial move for the country? BS, unless we are doing it over and over. It becomes this dependency on the government. Hey, you left the call. Okay, I'll restate what I said. I said that as long as it doesn't become a dependency on the government for multiple, as way longer than it needs to be, like, oh, coronavirus is over, but you know how cool it was to get $1,000 that one time? Yeah, let's just do that all the time. That's when it starts to become socialist BS and draining on the taxpayers. But right now, it's
The
important.
only problem with those stimulus checks is that the orange man at the top have his name on the check so that he could do a little pimping for his campaign. That's
Oh
it.
yeah, oh yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's the only problem with those stimulus checks.
The funny thing is, it wasn't even him that decided to put his name on the checks. I think the government required him to put his name on the
Oh,
check.
no, they did not. There's no requirement there. None. Zero. Check
No,
your facts, buddy.
I definitely
what?
saw. I definitely saw somewhere that they did
No,
that.
here's the funny thing. So that is my son, right? We are as opposite on the spectrum of politics as you probably could be. But the beautiful thing is, I think he's brilliant and he thinks I'm brilliant. So we can at least communicate. But y'all are going to get opposite ends of the spectrum right here.
Yes, we have more questions about this. Don't worry. So, final verdict: good, smart, very smart financial. And like, they're doing the small business loans and all that. Everything that they're doing in the package that they sent out is perfectly fine, in my opinion. I just don't think it would be beneficial for Sustained. But do you have anything, Isaac?
I do think that you're onto something with it being, if it becomes a repetitive thing, it's an issue. I also do think, I feel as though it is socialism, but it's socialism where socialism socialist BS or anything like that.
It's socialism, just not socialism BS.
Right. Because there are certain things in our economy that whether you agree with them or not, they do good for the people, like
Yeah.
social security, things like that.
No, here's the
And-
deal. People never think it's socialism if it's benefiting them.
That's true. That's
Yep.
true. Because that's a boogeyman word.
And so that's what I'm saying. I think that it's as a whole, I think it's been great for the economy, just like what Trump wanted it to be, but it's also been great for people that have been laid off. I mean, there are people who are getting to pay bills that were a concern. And
Mhm.
so I think
Yeah.
that it is going to do a great thing for the people of America.
All right. So, moving on to less serious things. We've got specifically for you, Mom. So we got middle nowhere 0102. The question for you is, what are your opinions on the older generation trying to get with modern trends like TikTok?
Okay, can I just say something? There is nothing worse than an older human being who pops on TikTok or some social media and says, "We're going to take it over because we've got to like move these kids away." Just a bunch of crap. Would you just do
Whoa.
what you do, enjoy the media, learn whatever everybody's doing, and just move on? There's nothing worse than these accounts of adults saying, "We're going to take it over." No, you're not going to take it over. You are not. You're not going to change it. Just go with the flow. Like, I'm echoing.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure everything out. I'm sorry about that.
That's so good. Anyway, adults, if they come into some kind of platform that the younger generation is using, you have to learn the lingo, you have to learn the platform, and the best thing you can do is be value added to the platform. You have to be value added, otherwise you're irrelevant as an old person and you get off. But if you're value added, kids will love you and they will congregate around you.
Yeah. Oh,
I
there was
agree
my
with that
there was my echo
completely.
too, I guess. But
In fact, I actually, on that note, Samantha, I agree with that, and I think that you're kind of a bit of the living testament to that. Like, you didn't go into TikTok with, we're just going to completely change the game. But I would argue that you have. I think there's a whole genre of TikTok people that, because of people like you, have created this whole genre of TikTok that is being there to support kids and
Oh,
being there to
absolutely.
call people out on BS.
Like what has happened is people are imitating my account.
Mm-hmm.
Like I have a lot of imitators now. There was nobody doing it when I was doing it. When I started basically saying I was the very first person. I actually trademarked the phrase ban life 360 back in November. And there are all these kids kind of claiming that they're doing it. Oh no, I trademarked it in November. And I was the first person to say we need to ban life 360. And everybody popped on that movement and we're getting the app store, they're rating it at a 1. It went from a 4.8 down to a 2.5 at one point.
yeah.
So, there are things like that I guess I recognize, people talk about, "Oh, you're just doing this for clout. You're just saying what the kids want you to say." No, I think most adults are morons.
Okay. So so that one's done. So now we're going to move on to what came first, the chicken or the egg? Now we're going to wait for Matt's input after we're done because he has mic issues right now. But anyways, what came first, the chicken or the egg, Isaac?
This is one of those topics that really gets me anxious because I don't know and I feel like I'm going to answer it wrong, even though there is no wrong answer. So I'm going to go with the chicken because, like, I I mean, I'm a religious person, if I'm speaking from that standpoint, I don't think that God would create an egg just to make an egg.
Are you kidding me?
You think he'd create a full-blown chicken?
No, God created egg long before he created chicken. Okay?
Okay, y'all, here's the deal. I'm one of these like believers in kind of creationism and evolution and the Big Bang kind of all put together, right? I don't see any problem with like God creating the Big Bang and like poof, we all kind of like exploded. It is an argument that will go on forever, but it's just a process of evolution. We cannot go back far enough to know, like the live birth thing. Did we evolve? So I think the creature evolved. So the chicken evolved, and as the chicken evolved, it evolved the way to reproduce. And so the chicken reproduction came after the actual animal got into creation. Does that make sense?
So
the
chicken
animal
first.
had to evolve to a place where then it could procreate in some way, and that became the way it procreated. The chicken came first.
Yes.
Well, all I'm saying is it says numerous times in the Bible that the very first thing that God created was egg.
What?
That's all I'm
What?
going to say. That's all I'm going to say.
Will you please quote that? Because I know the Bible pretty dang well, son. I've never heard that phrase.
It was said. Trust me. Just go to whatever the book is that it's in. You know.
No. You need to know, because I'll start quoting Bible verses back to you that like refute weird shit. You got to say it.
What the Okay, so obviously the winner of that is the egg. The
winner is the chicken.
No, the winner is the egg.
You have so Matt himself said the chicken, so I think you got 3 votes. Chicken.
Okay, whatever you say.
Dude, you went
You're
down.
outnumbered.
All right. So, next one. We're not going to do another funny one without Matt cuz he needs to be actually talking about those. Like later we're going to be talking about pizza crust, okay? So, this one we've got.
Okay, wait. Can I go back just a second?
Yes.
Isaiah 10:14. My hand is found like a nest in the wealth of people and the gathered eggs. Deuteronomy 22. Isaiah, Luke, Job, Jeremiah. There are points where they talk about gathering eggs in the Bible. Yes, son, but it's not has anything to do with the chicken egg debate. I'm just telling you.
The funny thing is that I was joking the whole time.
Oh, okay.
No. Yeah. I'm just telling you, it's in the Bible.
I don't know if you should ever take anything that I've said seriously.
That's not a good thing.
Dude, you don't say that. You're supposed to be an expert when you're on social media, right?
Exactly.
No, nobody on social media is an expert on anything.
Oh, I'm an expert on a lot of things.
Okay.
Gotcha.
Okay. So we've got this is gonna be the bulk of when I'm talking, and probably when my mom is talking this whole time. These very, very big questions that I'm gonna love to answer. First one, and they're very related to. First one is thoughts about Bernie endorsing Biden, just face value. I think personally, Bernie is a spineless little B word because really you're gonna fight this guy forever for the entire campaign, and he's gonna try to appropriate your movement. He's gonna steal your policies. He's part of the Democratic establishment, and that's what you're fighting. And then you're gonna be a little bitch at the end and endorse him after you drop out. It's like you're betraying your fans at that point. You're betraying your supporters. That's what I would say. Okay,
just back up a second. Y'all, it happens every election cycle, and everybody has to make some big deal about the front runners endorsing each other at the end. It happens every single election cycle. It's nothing to like write home about. It Trump got his endorsements from the Republican candidates. It's just like it's the only thing to do. You have to do it because you have to hand over the people who have supported you to the man who has to defeat what you're truly against, which is the other party. And that's all there is to it.
But that's the problem with Washington is the party thing. The whole I'm going to be part of my party before I'm an American. It's not that I'm believing in my own views. Like Bernie, I said this many, many times, absolutely despise all of his policies. But I do believe that he stood for something positive and that he really was trying to do a Trump style drain the swamp, but on the Democratic Party, and he's never going to be able to do that. They're keeping their party aristocracy. It's kind of disgusting.
Our whole political system was not set up to be bipartisan, which is why the Electoral College exists. It needs that, first of all, needs to be, that needs to be extant, excuse me. Become extinct. Anyway, here's the deal. They have platforms in hopes of getting a following and hopes of getting elected. But what they can accomplish in office is so small because of all the baggage that comes with the party in which they are elected. And that's just all there's to it. They don't have much power once they get there because there are all these checks and balances and everything. And so it's just the system being bipartisan right now. I think we should just completely get rid of the whole Democratic, Republican, make everybody an independent, nobody associated with the party, and everybody runs on their own platform, devoid of any DNC or RNC or whatever they are.
So, okay, well, the stream still can't hear Matt. That's all right. Well, we'll move on to the next one, also about Biden and Bernie and Obama. So we have...
Don't be dissing on my man.
You can let me finish the question, okay?
Hey.
Last time I checked, I was the host, not you.
Hey.
So we've got, now that Obama and Bernie have endorsed Biden, how does this change the dynamic of the election and the debates?
How's this? Okay, I figured it out. There we go.
Okay, can the stream hear Matt?
Yep, they can.
Also,
awesome.
We have a very heavy echo from you.
Do you?
Yes, it's horrible.
Okay, never mind. That's not going to work.
Okay, well, anyways. Calvin, now that Obama and Bernie have endorsed Biden, how do you think that changes the dynamic of the election and debates? So, how does this change the dynamic of the election and debates? Isaac.
With Obama endorsing Biden, I think that I don't think it's a surprise at all. I think that after Biden essentially played second violin to Obama for 8 years, and Obama knows exactly what Joe is going to think, what Joe is going to do. I think it'd be the same scenario as if I were to co-sign for you when we were to do something and say, yeah, that's a great kid, or vouch for him. I feel like it's the same thing. They're friends and business partners. I think that they're it's expected. I don't think it should be a surprise or something that takes anybody aback.
Yeah, I don't know about Obama waiting so long to endorse Biden is just, gosh. I mean, that was your vice president, man. It's like he is smarter than the majority of Democratic voters. They should have voted for Bernie. That's the only chance of beating Trump. And Obama's like, "Are you kidding me? I have to endorse Joe. He's senile."
I don't think that was the thought process. I also think that waiting till closer to the election is a strategic move in order to I think Obama got elected off of a lot of young voters. And I think that it's a strategic move by Obama to say, all right, let's wait until it gets to be just till Joe and one other guy, or till it's just Joe left running, so that I can put my endorsement as a former president, so that my endorsement is closer to the election and I was the president, and I think this man could do this job just as well, if not better than I did.
He had to wait until there was a winner to endorse the winner, because the former president of the Democratic Party cannot endorse someone who's going to lose the primaries. He can't, and change his endorsement. That's common sense. Hello?
Exactly.
Well, he had to wait for political reasons, but I'm saying he really did not want to endorse Biden, I don't
No, it
think.
has nothing to do with that. He had to endorse the person that was going to hopefully end up defeating the incumbent. That's all there is to it. There's no reading into it. Everyone wants to debate all this kind of stuff. It's simple. It's not that tough of a question.
Let's see. All right, so we've got what is the meaning of life? And that's anonymous. So I guess that's very open-ended. I wish Matt would have a great thing to say about meaning of life is that cereal's a soup or whatever BS he's gonna say, but or whichever of you wants to talk about that one first. What is the meaning of life? And it can be stupid. The meaning of life, if I'm going to give my legitimate answer, the meaning of life is to bring up children and do it well. That's the whole point of life. Now,
that is my platform. Oh my gosh. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
I agree with that. I also think that part of the meaning in life can be what you make it. Like I think that the main goal of life is to reproduce. And I think that
no.
Like not just to reproduce, but to reproduce and
over
create,
and over.
And create good people. Like you don't want to make a shitty person.
Well, yeah, that's why I have as many followers as I do on social media. That's what I like preach. But I'm going to tell you the meaning of life is you finding joy in small moments, every moment, and living in each moment. And not, we get anxiety because we worry about the future. We get depression because we worry about what happened in the past. All we are called to do is make this moment, every moment count as we go through it and find those things that bring us most happiness in each moment. And we can do that by ourselves. We can do that with other people.
Yeah.
I don't care if it's sitting in the grass and watching it grow, if that makes you happy. Whatever makes you happy, we have to find, find joy in each moment. But personally, the meaning of life for me is in a good bowl of angel hair pasta.
Oh, fair enough. That's easily like I would chow down right now, angel hair.
I know. Or my mother's chicken fried steak.
Chicken fried steak is the best food that has ever graced this earth, and nobody can ever say it's not.
Right?
I actually completely agree with that statement.
I know you do, Isaac. Gosh. I mean, who's gonna disagree? Not a single person. All these white basic girls being like, "Oh yeah, I'm so different than other girls because my favorite food is pizza." Whose favorite food is just plain pizza?
Or mac and cheese, I swear. I hear one more person say mac and cheese is their favorite food.
Mac and cheese? Shut up. Oh my God. Everything has cheese on it. Everything. Why are you making a big deal about mac and cheese?
I just think that like mac and cheese or like mac and cheese and chicken tenders. Like if you're the person that those are your favorite foods, your parents babied you until you were 18
Not only
years
did your
old.
parents baby you, they were like, they did not encourage you to branch out and try new things, or the problem is they never took you anywhere to try anything new.
Exactly.
Or they just let you eat whatever the heck you wanted to and never encouraged you to, like, I don't know. My kids have eaten like octopus and shit. You just gotta like branch out.
Yeah, see, like that's the thing is like when you're not encouraged, like mac and cheese and chicken, like those, like specifically like chicken nuggets or chicken tenders, those are things that you have to be beyond picky to not like those. Like you have to be absolutely like eating like the most strict diet on the planet that you're so picky.
You want to know why? because they taste the most like formula of any food that an adult eats. They're like, it's like milk. It's like a basic, like chill food. There's no excitement to it whatsoever. They taste as much like formula or breast milk or whatever as any food we have because there's no real flavor to it. It's just like bland.
Yeah, I was about to say something similar. I wouldn't say like bland, but it's just so plain. And
It's mundane. It's like not gonna put you over the edge. Like you could pair cheese with just about anything. I wonder why.
because it's so applicable, but it's just like, oh, it's cheese. I mean, well, it's just pasta and cheese. I mean, if someone said their favorite food was spaghetti, okay, spaghetti and meatballs, meat sauce, that's fine.
That's a little better than mac and cheese, isn't it?
Mac and cheese,
Yeah, no.
pizza, or like, gosh, another one is like, oh yeah, my favorite chips are nacho cheese Doritos. Every single person on earth likes those.
Yeah, for real.
Okay, you're not special.
Right.
So the
See,
meaning of life is having a better taste in food than mac and cheese pizza and nacho cheese Doritos.
I'm gonna agree
gonna-
with that.
I'm gonna venture as far to say that, like, even if you're the type that your favorite type of chip is like maybe the spicy nacho Doritos, stuff like
The
that.
spicy
like,
nacho, that's still bad.
You tried to be creative for that, but you're still like you're just barely better than them.
It's not even spicy. The spicy
Exactly.
nachos. Dude, that reminds me though, our good friend Noah, gosh, bless his sister, she used to say that that the regular nacho cheese Doritos were spicy and she could not eat them.
Oh my gosh.
That's just
I forgot about that.
that's horrible. Yeah, you remember that? It's
Yeah.
like, how? There's nothing to it at all.
And it's not like she's picky either. She just apparently those
She
chips
just
did not blend
hates
well.
those. Okay, so got back to a more, I guess, important question because we just answered how cheap the gas is. Why? Is it because of supply and demand? From Melissa Ring. Okay, so the reason that gas is so cheap isn't it, believe it or not, it has nothing to do with like coronavirus or anything like that. I mean, if anything,
What?
the price should be up right now because nobody's buying it. But
Okay.
it has everything to do with, there was a confrontation a couple months ago between Russia and Saudi Arabia. And Russia was basically like, oh, we got to keep the oil prices high because everyone's going to be buying up the gasoline. And Saudi Arabia just said, no, screw you, basically. We don't want to do that. We're actually going to lower the price, and we're not going to let you have any of the oil. So that's pretty epic on Saudi Arabia's part to just say screw you to Russia.
I see.
All I know is I'm loving the fact that gas is lower than it was my freshman year of college 30 years ago.
That's insane.
My dad said
I
that
paid
it is.
$1.48 a gallon every time I drove home my freshman year of college. It's
My dad is
$1.39
saying
is what we
similar
pay
things.
today.
I think that so I have some family that lives down in Oklahoma, and they had mentioned that it was damn near $1 per gallon.
Yeah.
It hasn't been under $1 since I was like a 7th or 8th grader, I think.
And it's just crazy. I'm very happy because gas is expensive. Granted, I'm not doing a lot of driving right now, so that I don't have to I fill my tank once a month probably now.
Must
Yeah.
be nice.
I haven't filled my tank at all since quarantine. Because I mean, I don't have anywhere to go, really. So, yeah, gas prices. Okay. So we've got... This is a good one. And I'm very sad. I'm sorry, guys. Matt probably isn't going to be able to rejoin us. He's having too many problems. We've all had technical issues this week. As a backstory, this mic, you see this headphone? It's hanging off of my head. it's not connected, and it's disconnecting and connecting. That's why I have to plug this in all the time. And Matt's computer broke the other day, so he's on a new setup. So yeah, he might be fucked for the rest of the time. But
Can you say that?
Yeah, I can. I've said it before.
YouTube?
Yeah, we're not even on YouTube right now. We're on Facebook.
Yeah, I know, but I'm.
Oh yeah, I'll say it again. Fuck. There you go.
That's my boy.
Oh, we are required right now to have a heated debate over the best type of pizza crust. This is going to be the highlight of the episode. Matt, please message us what you want us to say from your argument. What's the best type of pizza crust? Right. We've got best type of pizza crust. I'm going to say literally the regular crust from Pizza Hut. The regular crust. I'm sorry. I like all the actual pizza better from literally everything else. But the crust of Pizza Hut, I just go wild. That's my
I agree with that. Actually, I do really prefer thin crust. But like when we're talking thin crust, I'm talking like Papa John's thin crust.
Okay, you guys.
I agree.
You're
Papa
all
John's
wrong.
thin crust is.
Y'all wrong, because here's the deal. If you get a New York slice in New York, you're going to get a fabulous thin crust pizza. You're going to get great Chicago style if you go to Chicago, and you go to Italy, you're going to get a totally different kind. Pizza crust can all be good. Any food is good if you get the best example of that food. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I get it. You want to debate which one's better. However, I have learned in my life, if it's the best representation of that kind, you're going to like it. But the problem is we live in the Midwest where we do not have access to really great pizza, which is why you need to make it at home. I do not eat pizza out. I make my own pan pizza with a cast iron skillet. That's the only way to do it. You can make thin crust pizza. I've got recipes for that too. But y'all, if you try it at home, you can make some pretty good stuff. But the problem is we don't have access to the best example of anything. So it's very difficult to compare.
Yeah. So you didn't really answer the question though. What's your favorite? What's your favorite?
Any crust I make at home is my favorite. Because I can make anything the best. You're going to say
your crust. If we're bringing, I thought we were just going with like styles and restaurants, but if we're talking about like homemade stuff, I 100% agree because whenever you make any kind of thing that's bread, it's really good.
I make bread every other day. I have a sourdough starter that I just keep up.
I've got right here, I've got the rest of your that you sent me.
I did. I just sent him some banana bread the other day. But if I had to pick a crust that I've gone back to 1,000 times in my life when I was younger, it's a Pizza Hut pan crust. Because when that came out in Nebraska, it was like, oh,
Pizza Hut pan pizza crust.
Pan pizzas are good. They're just not.
Pizza is disgusting.
No, it's
horrible. It's greasy. So bad.
Chicago style. You guys have you ever been to Chicago and had Chicago style pizza?
Yes, I have.
I have. I'm the only one who's not been to Chicago.
And then like New York style pizza in New York. Oh my gosh! And if you go to Italy, margarita pizza over there is like to die for.
Margarita pizza.
Yes. It's like olive oil, basil, tomatoes, mozzarella, fresh mozzarella on a.
So like stereotypically Italian things.
What?
So it's basically stereotypical Italian things pizza.
Yeah.
That would probably be good. Okay. All right, Matt, did you send me what you would say your favorite crust is? Just tell me real quick. Thin crust. Just any thin crust, not any specific restaurant, just thin crust.
Sparrows thin crust is good, guys.
Henny, I like the crunch. So he likes the crunch. You heard it here first.
I agree with.
All right. Now we've got so this is a sports question. It's about the NBA, and it's if they think, do we think that the NBA season will start back up? And also, do we think that the baseball season will ever happen? Now, the NBA question was from the homie Josh Grosvenor. How will they start it up? Will there be playoffs? Just basically, will it start back up at all? And I'm going to say no. I mean, basketball is a winter and spring sport, really. And by the time this is over, it's basically, it might be halfway through summer. It might be all the way through summer. We might not even have football next year. So I don't know about the NBA. I think they're just going to skip the rest of the season, honestly. And even if they do come back, it's going to be no fans.
I just have something to say. I'm just thankful that Americans are being forced to find something else to do besides plop them butts down in front of a TV with a beer and watch sports. It makes me happy.
Every single person is plopped on their butts in front of a TV right now. All of us
with a beer watching sports. They're finding other things to do.
So it's less about the activity and more about
it's like just about the sports. Yeah, okay. I mean, that's fair enough. I personally don't like watching sports.
We pay them millions of dollars to do what? Entertain us. Well, guess what? We're finding other ways to entertain ourselves. And people are going to realize, wait a minute, to be entertained, I don't need to pay somebody millions to do it.
Yeah, I never have agreed with how much they're paid either. It's like I played football for free for like 5 years. So I think they could, I mean, Tom Brady, his salary is multiple millions. And it's...
You know who we're going to learn to pay those millions to? The doctors and the nurses who've been on the front lines in this shit. They deserve millions for risking their lives. Not these morons who just go play a game on Sundays or Fridays or whatever it is.
Yeah,
I'm
true.
not a fan of pro sports, by the way, if you can tell.
Oh, speaking of... just real quick, Isaac, I'll let you finish after I say this. But especially the... One thing that I've hated about this crisis is there's so many celebrities, and you were saying how like oh yeah, you know, the doctors and nurses, they're all more important than the sports players. God, celebrities have been so obnoxious during this. They're like, oh, yeah, we can all unite together, and they're singing like Imagine by John Lennon, like, oh yeah, you know, no borders. No borders is the worst thing that could happen right now.
My craziest thing is, you know, like, ooh, coronavirus. So the rich people are on yachts and jet skiing in the ocean, right? And the poor people are putting their mobile homes on boats and boating around the, you know, like lakes and shit. You know, where they're like, oh, everybody go to the lake, right? Or go to the water. Well, there's a huge difference between people who have money with, you know, like swimming pools in their backyards hanging out and the rest of America who does not. And they're showing off. And they're showing up on social media outlets and like, you know, trying to entertain. As soon as this virus is over, and why can't you just leave us alone?
Yeah, look at me. Look at all my money. Look at all you peasants struggling with the virus. I'm on vacation right now.
Yeah, that's the thing that pisses me off.
Oh, yeah. It's like, seriously?
Mm-hmm. On the note of sports, I would say that I think that baseball.
We can hear you. Can the stream hear you? I can't. Okay, continue, Isaac.
I think that baseball will start, even if it's an extremely shortened season and it's an extremely, extremely limited. Like there will be no ticket sales to fans.
Yeah,
things like that. I think that will happen. But other than that, I don't see basketball starting as like, aren't we already past when the finals would have been or getting close to when the playoffs would be starting? I don't follow basketball.
We really are.
And so I think that starting it late, all that does is it's going to create this massive influx of people wanting to go places. I think that you need to not be doing large events until next sports seasons for everything. I think that baseball is one of the things that, because it's got such an American like flavor to it, like everybody, I mean, baseball is something that's like, it's an American man's sport, like
Yeah,
things like that.
supposedly it's America's favorite pastime, yeah.
Right. So I think that baseball will have a very shortened season purely because of that. But other than that, I don't think the teams will travel is the other thing. I think it will be where all of the teams in the United States condense to like Arizona, because they have great weather there, and they'll do something. And there's a lot of practice facilities, so they could have multiple games going at once.
That's not going to happen, but
That will never happen.
They've talked about it.
That's not going to happen. They're not going to get the entire league to relocate to Arizona.
Well, he's saying like play the games down there.
I know what you're
Yeah.
saying, but if they're all playing in Arizona, they're just going to stay there and play. That's not going to happen.
Yeah, see, I don't know. I mean,
There aren't enough diamonds in Arizona to do that.
I think there are, actually, because there are like, I want to say across the entire state, there's enough that they could have every team playing a game.
Not in a huge stadium.
Right, of course. But if they're not selling tickets for them, then it doesn't matter.
Oh, right. You're
It doesn't
saying
matter.
during this virus, like they could all go there and
Yeah.
Mhm.
and then we could televise it. You know, that's
Yes.
actually not a bad plan, but it's not going to happen.
Yeah, no. I mean, it's a pipe dream. I think that there will be some teams that do still do that, but I don't think the whole league will.
All right. So let's see. We'll go with one more question, and then we're going to start wrapping it up. So, economic forecast. What are the pros versus cons on opening the state up? I assume that means Nebraska. That's also
We're not
Melissa
even
Ring.
shut down yet.
Yeah. I mean,
We're crashing pretty hard.
I think that the economic pros of staying open are that we're a food chain, like a major food chain state. Lots of food supply is here, so I think that the benefit that we're not going to necessarily see the benefit for quite a while, but I think that other states will see a massive benefit of keeping Nebraska open, trying to keep places that are around us. We can continue to be not only the Central America, but be the breadbasket, not Central America, Central United States, but be the breadbasket. Be the breadbasket that we are, that we have, like, name one food that we can't really grow here other than oranges.
Yeah.
Bananas.
Bananas, just anything tropical, really.
Yeah, really, just tropical fruits we can't really grow here, but we can grow just about everything else.
I don't know. After this snow this weekend, anybody who planted anything, you got to replant.
Oh my gosh, the weather has been so stupid. I started going on runs for like 4 days in a row, and I was doing like 2 miles a day. I was doing really well. And then all of a sudden the weather said, okay, I'm going to be 90 degrees. Okay, I'm going to be negative 30 degrees. Okay, 90 degrees. Okay, I'm negative. It's like, and the snow is just now melting again. Why do we have snow on the 17th of April?
Mother
If
Nature.
we were still in school, we would have gotten a snow day yesterday, right?
Yeah, I know. We probably would have. The roads weren't too slick, though, so I don't know if they would have done that. But
Yeah,
hey, did you see a couple people were posting on the GIPS schools page, like, hey, have a snow day. And they were like, we're actually 50-50 on opening up school tomorrow. I was like, that's pretty good. So pros versus cons on opening the state up, economic forecast. We need to get a lot of industries back up and running soon, but if it's too soon, we're gonna take on a second wave of the virus.
Well, I have a prediction. It's going to hit this state and hit it hard if we don't learn to stay home.
Hello.
Yeah.
Hello.
I mean, especially with demographics in this state in specific. I mean, we have a lot of immigrants, both illegal and legal, that come to this state. Like that's just where they end up, especially in Grand Island. And the kind of culture that comes from like that South American and Central American Mexican is like, it's very familial. and it's very we congregate together, and it's and I mean white people do that too. Everybody does that. One of the things of America is like family and coming together, and it's especially in the Midwest, we're all about that. So if you're completely right. If people don't start staying home and not going out to these gatherings and stuff that we've been going out to, it's going to be bad. But
it's a big concern, and I think that we will see the central United States get a lot worse of a pandemic because of things like I'm a hard-working man and I'm bringing home money for my family, and I'm going to do whatever the hell I say I'm going to, because the government can't tell me shit. I think that is a concern. Those mindsets.
Yeah, I mean it's in the best interest of you to stay home. It's not the government. I mean, it is the government expanding their power like they always do, but it's also something that's going to be beneficial. We have to. We have to stay home. It's going to save lives. But anyways, that's going to do it for today. We deeply apologize for technical issues. I don't know how it turned out because Matt can't share the screen with us and he's muted. It's a lot, but anyway, that's going to be the end of it. And I hope you guys enjoyed. Mom, you can plug whatever you'd like to.
Yeah, I just want to say thank you for having me on here. I have a podcast. It's Musings from the Middle of Nowhere. It's available on most platforms. Y'all, if you need something to go to sleep to, you can go to sleep to that. I am Middle of Nowhere 0102 on TikTok, on Instagram. I'm NONW 0102. I hold Zoom meetings. We've got a lot of support groups for LGBTQ plus. We've got, ED support groups. We've got just all kinds of, abuse survivor support groups that come out of those Zoom meetings. And so, y'all, I'm just here. I'm building a tiny house in my backyard for homeless teens, basically, whose parents kick them out. And I've got, a GoFundMe, and, we've got people gift me through like Cash App and through Venmo, but I've taken out a loan to do that. But so I'm working on those kinds of things right now. So my platform is just all about like supporting, kids, and I've learned everything. I owe everything to my son, who taught me not to be a bitch anymore.
Yep.
That's all there's to it. True. He made me a good mama.
Quick before you leave, you said, and I don't mean to, invalidate what you said, but me and Isaac saw this really funny thing earlier, and it was this girl on Twitter talking about how you're like, oh, she actually secretly hates trans people. I was like, that was hilarious. She went on a whole rant about you. And you told me about this person, Mom.
There is somebody out there who's mad at me because she's 23 years old and I wouldn't support her, like making fun of her mentally ill mother throwing a plate or whatever. And she identifies as a they, I guess. And see, I misgendered her, and she got all pissed at me, and now she hates on me and is trying to get people to hate on me. And she says I take advantage of children, and people are like, all she does is support kids. Like, I am trans positive. I'm they, them, I'm Z-Zer, whatever anybody wants to use. It's all good with me.
However, if you're going to be a bitch about it, then you're going to call them what they are, which is what you did. You said she, and I thought that was hilarious.
I just think that there's like people that are picking a bitch at what you do. It's ridiculous. You do nothing but help teenagers, and the fact that whether you misspoke or misgendered someone or whatever they're claiming you did or not, there is no reason to completely write off everything. The cancel culture in our society now is a massive problem.
Right? Like, and anymore with misgendering people get all their panties in a wad over misgendering. Sometimes you can't tell.
and that's where the argument of they them comes in. But
and so I'm learning to ask people, what are your pronouns? Everybody seems to want to have. It's like the thing now. You got to say, what are your pronouns before you ever say he, she, they. What are your pronouns? And some trans people get upset about zir, the neo pronouns. And I try to say, listen, every word was a neo word when it first started. You can't get mad just because it's not used much. Every word was a neo word at some point. It was new and not used. I don't know. The whole thing, I just step back and say, listen, I will love you and support you. Know that I may misgender you at times, but I will correct myself if you correct me. And it's not out of hate. It is just out of me being an ignorant 50-year-old. That's it.
All right. Well, thank you for coming on tonight.
Love y'all.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Love you, Mom. All right. See you guys.
Bye.
See ya.